We believe in families. And why is that? To understand what we mean, we first need to look at what family is. So, what is family? No, seriously, what does family mean to you? It's a fairly simple question, but it can be sort of difficult to answer because it depends on who you ask. Google, for example, shows a lot of results. About 9.8 billion results. And if back windshield stickers are any indication, family can mean many things. But how can this be? Is everyone wrong? No. And that's what makes family so special to us. At CHS, we focus on family in everything we do. Everything. It's in our mission statement. It's in our work, our successes, our failures, our goals, and our fears. It's what makes us feel all warm and fuzzy. And it's also what keeps us up some nights. It's everywhere. And it's been this way for more than 120 years. You may have heard the story of the founding of CHS in 1902 by a group of young businessmen in Greensboro, aptly called the Young Businessmen's Club of Greensboro. How they formed the North Carolina Children's Home Society to provide a home for the child who needs a home, and a child for the home which needs a child, in a time when the number of homeless children was on the rise. You may recognize their names that are intertwined with many industries in North Carolina even today. You may have heard of the first receiving home opened in 1916 to provide temporary housing for children awaiting their forever families. Or about the time when 5 homeless children made their way to the doorstep of that same receiving home and said, "Can somebody help us, young'uns?" You may have heard of the story of Mary Lee Hutchins, the first infant taken into the receiving home in 1917, who would later be known as Little Sunshine since it is said she cast a ray of light onto everyone she met. And how dark a day it was for children and families throughout the state when they learned of her passing a few short years later. A life cut short, but whose impact can still be felt today since contributions in her honor and memory are said to have helped keep the doors of CHS open at that time. Maybe you've heard the story of Dr. Ravenel, a Greensboro pediatric doctor who dedicated more than 50 years of service to CHS by providing healthcare to every child who walked through its doors, free of charge. You may have even heard about the time when CHS closed its doors to new children in 1942, or better yet, when it reopened those doors in 1944 with a renewed dedication to serving children and families. You may have heard of Harriet Tynes, who not only helped lead the way to the reopening of CHS, but also paved the way to the expansion of staff and offices across the state. And it will come as no surprise that stories much like these have continued to fill the pages of our history at CHS for over 120 years. A legacy of service from countless individuals, and an outpouring of support from our communities to create a society of people whose belief lies in loving relationships and whose message is of hope. This can be seen even today as we continue to evolve to meet the needs of children and families, focusing not only on growing families, but also strengthening them, and advocating for and advancing equitable change through innovative programs and services that reflect our commitment to giving every child the opportunity to thrive in a permanent, safe, and loving home. We do this by working with families facing challenges, providing the support they need to stay together whenever possible. We help children find permanent homes, whether through foster care or adoption, and we stand by them long after. And we work for a future where policies and systems better serve all children and families. So, maybe you've heard many of these stories, or maybe you haven't heard any of them before now. For more than 120 years, our success can be measured in the lives of those that came after, in letting a child be a child and providing a family the chance to simply be. Success is measured in every bedtime story shared, every lesson learned, every challenge overcome, and in every awkward family photo. Family isn't always easy, but it is always worth it. It is why still today we promote the right of every child to a permanent, safe, and loving family. The truth is, family can't be defined by a single word. It's love, hope, healing, and transformation. It can be complicated, but it's also beautiful, and it's what we believe in. At CHS, we believe in families because families create a brighter future for all of us.